still wasn't sure that I'd hit him.
Okay.
'Cause, you know, you would think there would be blood everywhere.
Right.
I didn't see any blood.
Okay.
It wasn't obvious that I'd hit him. So when he fell down, I wasn't, and of course he was talking the whole time. So I knew he wasn't dead. After I got past that, you know, once he started talking, I realized, hey, you know, this dude's alive. So I hollered at my daughter. I said, call 911. Because once I realized that he wasn't dead, then I switched to, we need some help.
Right. EMT came out and you
Right,
started to get some help. Okay.
Of course, I'm telling him the whole time, don't you get up. Because like I say, I still wasn't sure I had hit him.
He could have been faking.
Right, that's what I thought. So I mean, the whole time, you know, I'm hollering at my daughter, call 911, call 911. And that's another interesting story, because the dispatcher was asking her all these questions about what kind of gun has he got, and this, that, and other. And she's asking me, what kind of gun do you have? And so my words, which I don't know if I've given you the recording or not, but my words are not real nice at that time. And I'm like, don't worry about what kind of gun I got.
Yeah.
I got a gun. Send the police, send an ambulance. A guy's been shot. Well, I was focused. I couldn't take my eyes off of what I considered the threat.
Right.
So I didn't pay no attention to what was going on that direction.
Okay.
My focus was on what I considered the threat. Anyway, so they come in, and it's funny how, of course, I don't know if my ears were still ringing or what, but I'd kind of tuned out everything else. And this cop comes in, and he's pointing a gun at me, and he's telling me to drop my gun. And the first time I didn't really hear him. Now the second time, because he stepped up a little bit more and got a little more forceful, drop your gun. And so then I look at him, and that's when I realize he's got this gun pointed at me, and those hoes do pretty daggone big. I got to give him that. But still, I just couldn't relinquish. You know, I felt like that until he was secure, I wasn't secure.
Right.
So I told the cop, how about doing something about him? And that's when he steps up real close and says, put the gun down. So that's when I go, okay. You know, it hit me right about there. When that gets a whole lot bigger, you go, maybe I should listen. So they spun me around, handcuffed me, took me out to the car.
Part of what I wanted to do with this is dispel some of the glamour that some people think of when they talk about concealed carrying. They think, oh, you know, you've got this really nice gun and this really nice holster, and you do all this great training, and you just feel like you're ready to save the day. But when it all goes down, you're not really treated like you've saved the day, even though you did.
There's nothing glamorous about it. They don't care what you did. Now, my daughter and my granddaughter, they're appreciative. But the police, they look at you as a criminal at that moment. And you have to prove yourself. This is what gets me. You have to prove yourself innocent. But the criminals, you have to prove them guilty. Now, where is this, you know, that picture of that scale you see all the time?
It's tipped the wrong direction, for sure. And this all happened, we won't give exact dates, but this happened over 2 years ago. We're going on 2.5 years, right?
Correct.
And, of course, the emotional impact has obviously been huge on you and your family. Right. As well as the financial impact.
I'm broke.
the social impact, the way people treat you, the way you relate
Most
to
of,
your family
most of the
members?
people that know me, and it's not, it's not a whole lot. I can't say I got a whole, I got like 3 people on Facebook, 3 friends on Facebook. That tells you how many friends I got. I really don't do Facebook anymore. Never could get into that. But the people that really know me know that I did what I had to do. And my mom has always stood beside me because she knows me. And not because a mom is going to always, because I'll tell you something about my mom would turn me in. She turned me into school one time when I skipped school. She called him up and says, "Hey, why is my son out of school?" That's it. But anyway, my mom has always stood by me. Now my sister, she's in her own little protected world. She's not real happy with what I did. I mean, that's kind of sad in a way, but I don't really worry about it because my mom's the one that's important to me. If my mom believes in me, I'm good with it. So my sister ain't getting a Christmas present this year. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Ain't the world coming to an end?
It was supposed to happen 10 years ago.
Is that before Christmas?
I don't know.
Hey, I don't have to buy no presents this year either. I'm sorry. I've always tried to use humor. I learned that in my fire department days because the things that you see there, if you don't figure out a way, all that'll eat at you. That's how I deal with it. I try to laugh about it, and it's hard to do. But anyway, I'm sorry.
No.
I got off it again.
That's fine. That's fine.
This is a reason why you need a lawyer. Even though you think you've done nothing wrong, here they are questioning you 15 minutes after you've been through what you've been through. And I mean, the adrenaline still hasn't stopped. And your mind is racing. And this is when they're questioning you. So, obviously I did pretty good. They asked me some things I wasn't even sure about. I was like,
You need some time to be able to decompress first before you have to.
Exactly, because a lot, man, they're going into detail, like how many steps did you take before, and I'm like, come on. And, they were asking me stuff days ago. I was like, you know what, ask me something that happened yesterday morning, maybe I can help you out. But a couple days ago, I had to write stuff down all the time. I can't even remember my own phone number without looking at my phone.
Yeah. So if you had had a lawyer on retainer, you wouldn't have had to have been grilled like that.
No, I could have invoked my right to speak to an attorney.
Right.
But I didn't feel like I had done anything wrong. Right. But of course, they made a lot of issues of some of my statements, and they come back and they want to go over those statements again.
It gets you even more confused.
So my recommendation would be keep your mouth shut, because it could have got me in a lot of trouble, because you're in no frame of mind to be sitting there making statements that's going to affect the rest of your life.
Right.
They did let me go home that night. They questioned my daughter. They probably questioned my granddaughter too, because she was there at the police station. I never did ask her about it, because I thought she done had enough. And I just assumed the truthfully, I think she was the only one out of all of us that was relieved. I've got a letter that she wrote, and here I'm getting off track again. I've got a letter that she wrote to the county attorney because we were trying to let her express her fears and stuff. She started sleeping with a baseball bat. That's how afraid of this guy she was.
So this wasn't something that just happened on that night. He had been a threat to
Oh,
her
for a long
and her
time.
mother for a while.
Right. For 3 months. I think the whole thing, maybe 4.
And how old is this little girl?
At that time, she was 9.
So imagine being a 9-year-old with your single mom being threatened by a nutcase and having to sleep with a baseball bat.
Of course, their big thing was here you are shooting off guns and stuff, and you got a little girl back here in the bedroom. That's who I was looking out for,
Right.
and I shot that way
Exactly.
and not that way.
Right.
I knew where she was. If nothing else, make them realize you better have a lawyer. If you're gonna carry a gun, you better, one, go buy your gun, and then go to the lawyer's office.